But you already know that we were discussing earlier, all that he went through, and
Yes.
shamefully.
Oh, wait a minute, there's a bunch of stuff coming up.
Luxembourg.
Where my glasses at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get my glasses.
Let me see how many she got.
I don't even know what I'm seeing, but I just see a.
You're looking at accounts.
Brother Todd,
I can't even see.
I want to nationalize. So, all right, I had
You got a flash drive?
a flash drive.
Yeah.
Not with me.
Next time you come, bring a flash drive, week after next, and I'm gonna give you stuff to study, including papers that when you decide to fill them out, you just bring them for me to seal.
Okay. All right.
Not as much as some.
Because I started.
Just like the sister that brought in,
Mhm.
and like Brother George can show you if he has any there or whatever. But the deal of it is, again, like we say, this information is being given because we're in what you call a short arc period now. They've already passed the arc, or what you would call the apex. And we're in what you call critical area now, which means they've already passed the apex. They're already, as we speak,
What's that mean?
in the process of collapse. And so we're in a very tentative time to get information to our people where they can use the information before they start shutting things down, and we may not even be able to have these venues for a while, as they're going to institute martial law to try to protect the system,
Right.
even though long-term it can't survive. Meanwhile, they're going to sacrifice a lot of people in between with a lot of false flags, you know, while this transition is being made, and people who don't understand the real world politics are not aware.
Open based on.
Not unlike they do at farms,
Here's one in Wilmington.
and they take pigs and cattle, and after they make the auction, they run them through the fences and feed them, and they're very calm until they get to the end, and they slam this thing on their head and then shoot them in the head, and they're ready for it. It's pretty much the same thing. This is what King Alfred's about. This is why you got this Jade Helm thing going on, where they're putting all this military all across the country,
Right.
because they're preparing to kill people.
When they register.
Yeah.
They actually are.
They are.
You know, and our people don't even know that they're number one. Why do you think the policemen are killing at least 2 a day all across this country of Asiatics and selling their organs? And our people still it ain't dawned on them what's really going on because they don't know this information. They don't know the motive as to why this stuff keeps going on, why the abuses are going on, because we're the heirs of the estate trying to kill us off before we can inherit.
These
And
things.
I have a brother
Name
down
is
in
229,
Georgia
that's their
who wants to
address, that's
nationalize
his
also. I
name.
told him like once I get the information.
Yeah, so bring a flash drive, bring 2 flash drives so we can send him information to study.
And my father as well. So
Yeah,
bring 3.
bring enough flash drives, and I'll give you stuff to keep you busy for 10 years.
All right.
Took your social.
Because the deal is, we have to get
That's what that means?
our concepts
It did one.
right, fast. And you know that can't exactly happen, but
So
we
how
can't
do you
look at it that way.
Undo when you.
Do you understand what I'm saying? We have to give it to you and trust that you study. And trust that it becomes yours, because these venues are not gonna be allowed to continue because they're desperate now. And because this is bigger than people think it is. You know, this is much bigger than people think it is. You know, so our people are looking, a lot of times we're looking at our personal problems as far as estate, houses, accounts, and stuff like that. And this thing is so much bigger than that. So whereas we're looking at it just on a personal, JOB and economic level individually, they're looking at world politics, and it's all still rooted in what we presented to you tonight.
So when, like for instance, when we get the freedom to travel.
Isn't
When
ACN
you
a
get it,
corporation
no,
that people are?
even at,
I got ACN. ACN got some, they look at that. AC, look at that. Isn't that a company?
meaning that they're buying and selling in your name and you don't even know it. That's how it's done. Now, and until
120.
Dr. Naila,
Huh?
this is why, and this is inclusive on other issues, why we keep telling people to nationalize and start an estate. Because that's the only way you're going to start killing them bonds. But if you don't really understand the politics, this stuff never dawns on you that is going on right around you all the time.
You say start in the state. Start in the state.
You must have an estate.
Have our own state.
See, because everything that's dealing on is trust law, administrative trust law. And our people be thinking government. This is why we gave you this paper, to show you there's some private corporation. And our people keep thinking the United States is a country.
Right. And each state is a country, actually. Right.
But they're not even that. That's a misrepresentation too. They're subsidiaries to that corporation.
I knew I was being hustled, but I didn't know to that degree.
Man,
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Absolutely.
And the greater thing that all of us must recognize is that the world always knew this stuff. We're the only ones that have been kept out of the loop. And then when people dispense this information, they either kill them or misrepresent them. You know, or slander them, and the people don't take them serious.
So why people? Oh, never mind. I can ask that question.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And it's hard for our people also to accept,
That we're at war.
you know,
period.
that we've been betrayed. So you can kind of understand the feeling that Il Malik had when he began to find out how big this thing really was, knowing that people around him who was admiring him had no idea the degrees that he arrived to. And that he couldn't even just dispense in a conversation. They think that he's out to lunch.
So technically, there's apparently there's a lot of information that we still don't know about that's gonna.
What you've been given is primal for a foundation to remove all mystery.
Right.
If you understand, and for you to recognize that the issues that Drew Ali brought are universal. They have nothing to do with a belief system. But yet people keep talking to him, talking about him like, you know, an Islamic leader guy of a cult or some belief system.
But that's how they always spend any information.
And he's talking about the birthright.
Right. They always try to say something negative to us
Exactly.
so that we look the other
to
way.
dismiss.
Right.
But once you understand the politics, you understand why. It's political countermove. And once you have the facts, you're not confused about whatever they say because you can see through it.
So that's what the Trans-Pacific Partnership is also
Why do you
about.
think that? Because nobody wants to trade with them no more. And that partnership also includes them taking over the internet and shutting it down.
Right.
It's a lot of things that it really is that people don't know. And then a lot of other parts of it is not even being revealed. They're getting ready to be put into abject servitude. And FEMA camps.
Yeah, I know that. They got them all.
This is why you see Europeans have come to the point of being alarmed because they know that some of them are going to be sacrificed. That's the only reason why they're doing what they're doing right now. They're telling some of the truth because they start recognizing that they're going to be thrown under the bus too. But they know that the only true sovereign is us. See, this is where, in other words, it's like this. Everybody's being forced to eventually, even though there's resistance, to tell the truth. And they're waiting to the last minute that they can to try to hold out with an institution, a body of institution that is guaranteed gone. But yet they still, just like a drowning man, can't swim, but they keep struggling for that last breath and keep struggling. And they're going to go down. Meaning they may as well relax and take a breath and either try to float or because they're going down. And that's what's happening with the United States Corporation Company.
So all right. For instance, like with all the stuff that's going on, like for instance, they got all these soldiers and stuff like that. For instance, they have a lot of soldiers here, and then like you have
including
their families.
foreigners.
Right? They have foreigners too.
Mm-hmm.
But then what do they think? That everybody is gonna just follow
This
them?
is what they think.
Or
Let's be real.
they gonna give them something to make them to
Let's
control
look
the
at it
military?
real.
Right.
Remember, what have soldiers been doing? They've been carrying orders, haven't they?
Right.
What do they need to do? Do enough damage to intimidate the people to step back.
That's
They
fine.
know ultimately you can't win until you win their hearts and minds.
Right.
However, it's a move of desperation. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, not unlike, all right, let's like right now, that's not like say patting us on the back or anything like that. Don't confuse what I'm saying to you. But all of our people need to know what was dispensed here tonight and other times that Dr. Nagi has made this venue available. However, there's a lot of standing room because people ain't got enough pain yet. However, they don't know how close at hand their extermination is. Do you understand?
No, I definitely.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Mhm.
And they have a tendency to underestimate things because they haven't shed their belief systems. Do you understand? Not knowing is dangerous and that is mind control.
Right.
And while our people are going through the process or the debate processes of purging, they don't know that this thing is accelerated. You know how like we're so used to taking our time doing things and they don't know how far away the game is to its end. And I'm not knocking them, but I'm expressing the seriousness of the issue that people who are not aware of the real politics don't recognize the danger they're in and don't recognize that they're targets because the greater danger is them finding out. And so they're going to try to kill them off before they wake up because the wake up crashes the system and guarantees that they're out. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
So just like a thief who's caught,
Right.
even though he's caught, if he got guns and weapons and biological weaponry, he's going to use it to try to save himself even though he knows he can't win.
Right.
Ultimately, he ain't going to have without fight. This is where they're caught right now.
So we
think
have
it's
to
all
protect
entities,
ourselves.
right?
then,
Well, the one way you protect yourself is playing your estate because they're using your estate to fund their army.
Okay.
You don't have weapons, you can't beat their army anyway, but you do have right to claim to the estate. And if you're in the black codes, you're expendable, lawfully and legally. See, this is what our people don't understand. People who are not of a nation are not privy to the protections of nation and international law. Do you understand?
Yes.
Persons who are designated as Negroes, blacks, and colors are called stateless persons.
Correct.
They are also in dishonor because no such people exist, which means they're outside of the human family. Use your logic. Is there any human rights protections for such persons?
No.
Not only that, they've been buying and selling in the name of another man and own nothing.
Is that what this is?
That's an unforgivable act of fraud.
Right.
Can the world keep sitting around waiting for us to decide that we want to wake up
No.
while everything is collapsing,
No.
including the economies of nations, while we sitting around still dealing with our belief systems that Rome gave us and then lying saying Muhammad and Jesus gave it to us?
Right. Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
You got to kind of put yourself in the position of others, you know, not just looking at the damage or the concepts that we may have of this. Because someone outside of this venue are affected by it, but at the same time, they're not sitting around having mercy on us because we're arrogant with our ignorance. It's not that we're just ignorant, we're arrogant with it. And nobody can't tell us nothing because we always think that we're saved. Do you understand what I'm saying? Meanwhile, the world is collapsing while we're bull crapping around. So do you understand the position that we're putting the rest of the world in? And their economies are collapsing, waiting on us,
Right. Waiting on us to wake up.
the heirs of the
We
estate,
are.
to act like we know,
And
finally.
then to actually use what is
To do what we're supposed to do, to nationalize.
So, all right, like
You
I know you
understand?
got these people coming up with this new African like movement, like no, it's not Pan-Africanism. It's my lady went to a meeting a couple of nights ago,
Yeah,
and what she was telling me is that when the speaker, one of the people that was disseminating the information, basically. This individual basically told them that what they needed to do was to go to a nation or a sovereign nation and ask that sovereign nation to back them and then say that we're not African Americans, but we're new Africans. I'm like, that makes no sense.
of course it doesn't, it's bullshit. It's
told her-
diversion, it's COINTELPRO
Exactly.
operations,
And I
it's
told
called
her
a
she has to
diversion.
keep her mind open about that stuff.
But look what you're saying, not just that, but I'm gonna give you some information that you can use. Just what you saw from George Washington's letter. What are the parties in law by which law can be enforced to protect the citizens? The land is Morocco. The operating administrative order is United States Corporation Company, which is being dismantled. Where do these people think that they're going to have any claim of sovereign right when they are denying their airship?
Brussels.
Africa's a continent, not a country. And even then, they're going to have to declare what nation state sovereignty, because this is the whole point. No, like when you're just reading the papers, the Executive Order 11490, it says what? They're bound to the continent by heritage, and that knows that what? They cannot be accepted by other countries, because they got one.
Right.
No one. Do you think any civilized country is going to accept this nigger problem that we haven't solved here?
No.
Now do you understand why that European Muslim schooled Il Malik, when he made the Hajj, went over there with that black and white stuff, and that European French Muslim schooled Malcolm, people call Malcolm X, that will come here with that white and black stuff and think that because you made the Hajj, you're visiting home. You left home.
Right.
That's the Maghrib.
Right where we are.
So, exactly. Morocco, the most extreme west, is Maghrib. And Muslims even make one of the prayers is called Maghrib. And they don't even know this is the Maghrib. Morocco, the most extreme west.
But some are already nationalized, right? So there are some people that are nationalized.
But
so
listen to you. Let's slow down, because let's work with what you're saying and what you're thinking, and you're correct to go there. But I want you to think all the time. Because someone's national does not make them competently conscious. Because nationalization is not just filling a paper out. The cognizance that relates to your knowledge base, that changes your frame of thought and your language, is part of nationalization. It's an education. As a matter of fact, if you make see?
No. My mother transitioned on February 2nd.
And they still use her
2002. There's 11,000.
Whoa!
1,132 things in here, and active, current. Rather.
Exactly.
Incorporation court.
Which means now you understand why the Popes declared the dead their property. And this too, Dr. Naila, look at this. You know how we're talking, excuse me just a minute, I'll get back to us. But I want you to recognize just by what you're witnessing right now, how people who think this information is unimportant, how they're unaware of what's going on in the real world, and they think because they make some prayer or some vigil that they're really doing some spiritual solution, and they're full of doo-doo. And here she is going to go right on the internet, trace her mother's Social Security, who's made transition,
11,
and they're still transacting on that straw.
and she made in 2002. And there's 1,132.
So once we fill out everything, and then as we fill out,
Don't look at it as once you do. In other words, the point of it is, don't look at it that way.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
maybe
in
I'll
other words-
rephrase my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, all right. So when I'm in my proper person, when I put the things together to make sure I'm in my proper person, all right. At that point in time, all right, all of the things that have been brought against my estate would be null and void. Then you said we have to.
In other words, what you
notice,
do,
right?
reclaim your estate and start putting a stop to their claims on your estate. Go ahead.
When you nationalize, all that does is give you standing to make the claim.
To make your argument.
You
And this
still
is where
have to go through and
consciousness
make a
comes in.
claim.
This is what he's explaining earlier. See, and this is what it means when it means to be conscious. You can be national and still unconscious. You're useless to the information if your consciousness does not match what nationalization represents. Give you an example. Say someone comes from any other political jurisdiction on the planet, even in different parts of America, even though they're Amerokans too, but because of the political jurisdictions. What is required of them when they make action into another political jurisdiction anywhere in the Western Hemisphere. They're going to get a DAR manual that's produced right here in Washington, D.C. by the Daughters of the American Revolution, and they must take a test on the Constitution and the culture of the nation state. And if they fail, they do not get a green card. What makes our people think that they're any different? Do you understand?
Yes.
So for us to exercise these rights, which the brother saying have standing, you will be measured by your competence. This is why we're sharing information, because we need people to actually be competent, not interested only. Not, oh, when do I nationalize? And when I do my paperwork, therefore I'm going to do, and they start that, they're already wrong. Like the brother says, it gives you, it restores your standing. Now what you do with it from that point of view, from that point, it's on you. Now, go
Quick
ahead.
question before I forget. All right, now, when we're nationalized, and when they start grinding up these people going around from
You
door
have a
to
chance to
door,
be pulled out of the camp if you're in the camp.
from door to door,
I'm backing up.
Mhm.
When you're national, you have the distinct opportunity for representatives to pull you out of the camps before you get cooked. If you're not national, it's almost a guarantee you will be vaporized.
just like they did.
Which is for some other people that was claiming to be somebody that they're not.
Right.
That's what J.M. really is about.
You know, and this is what
For us.
King Alfred is about. Even though we had more that we could have went through to show you that that experiment that took place with them other people claiming to be somebody that they're not is used as a template for what they're getting ready to do to these people. And because they're busy doing their belief systems and they're marching and praying and fake metaphysics and fake spirituality, this military document 11490 and Rex 84 for their extermination is in force as we speak
So how do we
and
get
being
around
accelerated. This is, again, all I can say, that's why we're doing what we're doing. And just like if people say, well, what do? You do what you're doing now. And it should have been done decades ago. However, we can't look at it as too late. We look at it, the longer you wait, the more susceptible you are to disappear. But our people not knowing what's really going on are asleep to that death is at the door. They really don't believe that they're going to be exterminated.
Because they bought plenty around.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Meanwhile, this man is trying to kill off the creditors because he's being, pardon me, dismantled. And even some of their high priests are being thrown out the windows with no parachute. And they claim them to be suicide. So, and our people looking to them to get a job, and they looking for a hole to hide in. Do you understand what's happening here?
They do have.
And our people still trying to believe in the systems that are collapsing. They have no future in it. Their future is after it. But they're looking for a future in it when it must and will fall.
So this is the question that I had. So technically speaking, we need to find some place to possibly go. Or
You're not going to allow to go anywhere. They're going to close the borders. I can't emphasize enough.
I'm talking about before that.
They're close.
You got to know who you are and where you are first.
Let me tell you something. They are closing the borders.
If we secure some land, maybe about 100 acres.
What would help with the
so
bond?
All right, listen to what the brother's saying. Listen to what, can you get this whatever for her, please? You got to do another notch.
I'm gonna do that.
Next time I come, I'll do it for you. You got to do it with a scissors or a punch, like you know the hole punch that you punch papers with. Take and make 2 notches with a hole punch, just beneath that one.